Richard Southern joins us for a look at the day's top business stories, and we begin with the ongoing saga over control of Rogers Communications, which is the parent company of City News. Hey, Richard.
Hey, Erica. These are the days of our lives in the Rogers C-suite. The soap opera involving Rogers Communications continues. As we reported last night, the fight for control of Rogers has moved from the boardroom to the courtroom. Mr. Edward Rogers, who we see there, has asked the BC Supreme Court to declare legitimate the newly constituted board he formed after being ousted as Rogers board chair earlier this month after media reports made public a failed plan to replace CEO Joe Natale. Now, in this court filing, Erica, Edward Rogers claims several members of the board, including his mother Loretta, had long-standing concerns about the performance of CEO Joe Natale, and that Natale was set to accept an exit package worth some $29 million. The affidavit claims that Edward says he spoke about his concerns regarding Natale's performance, particularly his ability to integrate the Shaw Communications deal, which Rogers is in the process of trying to finalize. Edward, though, has faced backlash. Erica faced criticism from his mother and his two sisters, who say his claim is not legitimate to this new board. Should mention as well, brought up that Shaw deal, which is still outstanding. If Shaw backs out, they're going to have to pay Rogers $800 million. If Rogers walks away, they're going to have to pay Shaw $1.2 billion. So amid all this drama is this ongoing battle to buy Shaw. Should mention Rogers stock bouncing back a bit today, up 3.3% on the Toronto stock market.
All right, Greyhound folded up its Canadian operations early this year, but the company's buses will soon be returning to some of our roads, Richard.
Correct, Erica, but only if you're planning to travel across the border. Last spring, Greyhound Canada said it was shutting down coach service in this country after nearly 92 years. But the American version of the company, Greyhound Lines, continued. And now that the border is set to reopen November 8th, it's going to return to a cross-border service to Montreal, Toronto, and Vancouver starting November 8th. Fares looking pretty attractive. You know, if you're planning to travel from Toronto down to Buffalo, you can get a ticket for $26. So Greyhound back in a sense there.
And finally, food prices are rising, but that isn't hurting the bottom line for the world's largest fast food chain.
No, McDonald's is able to pass along these rising food prices to consumers. There's so much loyalty with McDonald's. They reported earnings today, better than expected profit and revenue numbers. Menu price hikes for things like Big Macs and McNuggets in the United States helped the company out. Prices up at McDonald's about 6% year over year in the United States. Meantime, Coca-Cola reported earnings today, better than expected profits there. But Coca-Cola says it's dealing with product shortages that it expects to stretch into next year. Like many companies, it is now dealing with a snarled supply chain and high commodity costs. Coke said you may see some shortages of its products on store shelves well into 2022. Coke stock, though, did close higher today. Erica.
All right, we're hearing a lot of those shortages. All right, business editor Richard Southern. Thanks, Richard.
Thank you.